Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Friday, February 7th, and we've just seen the US jobs report come through, and the results were less jobs than expected. That has started to pull down and turn all three of the US indices into the red. You can see here that there is an analysis of the jobs report available for you if you want to read it in the Bloomberg app. But basically, the numbers came in less than estimated, and that is creating a bit of a downturn in the futures markets. We take a look at the Yahoo Finance app and just across the board here, you can see that crude is up almost 50 cents, but still down in the $71 range. So it's quite low for relative to where it's been in the last 30 days in terms of its highs. It's definitely near the low of where it has been. You've got the VIX, which has dropped down into the low 15s. Again, odd with all the uncertainty going on. You have in the health and retail space, Costco has had a great run, well ahead of its earnings, and with all of this talk of tariffs, which could cause increases to that business. But nevertheless, it has taken off and rocketed from we call it 950 range up to 1,050. So it's jumped $100, which is sizable. I mean, it's a 10% gain in a week's time. You've got Lululemon, which has started to make a bit of a comeback. It was down in the 290s a week or two ago. It's now up in the 411 range. Walmart has had a good run. It's going to report results later this quarter, coming later this month on the 20th of February. Home Depot as well in the next couple of weeks will report. It's up in the 414 range. Nike is still getting beat down in the 70s. And then healthcare had an off day for sure yesterday. Um, and is really in a mixed bag there between red and green this morning. Transport was off yesterday as well, and then oil had a horrific day yesterday, down across the board in the oil stocks, mostly green today, but that could change depending on what we see happen with crude and any other potential announcements. The real hot sector this week, and I'm going to say for the last couple of weeks, with the announcements from DeepSeek AI out of China a week ago Monday, has been technology. And for the most part, technology has been doing pretty well. You can see here that we have mostly green on the screen this morning. CrowdStrike seems to be getting a lift or pulled up 324 this morning, $3.24, because of likely the results from Net yesterday. Cloudflare, Net was up or is up $14.31. I wasn't sure whether the results would really be able to astound and exceed expectations, but clearly they did, and they were up 10% in the post market after earnings announcements, and that's holding in the pre market. So that's probably what is lifting Palo Alto, being that it's in a similar space. CRM took a dive on a report that they're cutting staff and they're promoting one of the folks on their board to be COO, CFO. I think there's a lot of room for CRM to recover here. I think it's a steal right now. If you're looking for a stock that you think or you'd like to see go up 10 or $15, I think this is the stock. I think we can get up to 350 in this within the month of February. Nice $20 gain. And so I've been definitely following that. And I bought and sold some of that yesterday, and we'll probably be buying back into that today. Definitely taking a look at it. Microsoft's still down in the 415 range. ARM had okay results. I mean, great results, really. They beat expectations, but their future forecasts came in conservative, and they got knocked down a little bit. They recovered a little bit yesterday, still down, and then looking like they're going to open down. I think you could pick some of this up at a pretty decent price here. On is going to report, I believe, on Monday of next week. So, but it's been a dog down at 52. This is a stock that was up in the 110 range in the last year or so. So it's lost 50% of its value. Shopify reports next week. It's been doing extremely well. Not sure how the tariff conversation is going to affect it. expected, but I believe the numbers are going to be positive. I think that's one, if it's down as it was yesterday, we'll see what it does today. We don't have any pre-numbers off the Canadian tickers, but we'll keep an eye on that. And if depending on where that goes, we'll look at maybe taking a position in that. And then we've got IBM had an off day yesterday after a good sales report. I think this could be an interesting one to keep an eye on. It was one of the more stable and I'll call it kind of in the background sneaky stocks that really popped on earnings this month when all of the Mag 7 tech stocks didn't. Workday had a nice pop on an announcement similar to CRM that it was cutting staff and doing a bit of a reorg. It reached up into the 280s, pulled back a little bit yesterday, but still a positive day. Lam Research had a good day yesterday off of good earnings last week. AVGO Broadcom is going to announce in the coming weeks. I think this is one that still has a lot of room to get up to the 240, 250 range that it was in before the DeepSeek announcement. And then you've got Amazon had missed on some of their numbers yesterday, and they were off, but it looks like not that much. I mean, they're down $6, but looks like there's a potential for that to maybe even go green today. Tesla's having a tough time. Their sales are dropping. Elon is offending a lot of people, which is causing the Cybertruck sales to rednecks to go up, but everyone else on the Democrat side is probably rethinking a Tesla purchase. So that's his uh, what he is doing and his close ties and affiliation, obviously, with the brand is really affecting that stock, in my opinion. Meta has been super strong. It looks like it's up again today. Netflix crossed over the $1,000 mark up to 1,015. Just incredible the growth and strength of that company. I do think it's overvalued, and I can't see it growing subscribers the way that it has been on an ongoing basis. But it just I don't know. That seems to buck the trend, that thought process. So, BABA, you're going to stay away from all Chinese stocks right now until the geopolitical issues are kind of behind us or at least dealt with. Nvidia should be coming back. This stock has been beaten down, but everyone's buying Nvidia chips. If there's one thing we've heard out of all of the tech earnings, it's we're making investments in AI. We don't have enough room in our data centers. We need to buy more. We're building, we're buying, and we're consuming in the chip space and the data center space, and that is where NVIDIA operates. So that company, I'm confident, has a ton of room to grow. Google got beaten down as well, one of the Mag 7 on earnings, down at 193. I think it's a steal. I don't know if it's going to make any significant moves down there, but I think we've kind of hit a bottom. And then Adobe won't announce for a little while. TSM, another strong one that's made a slow recovery back from the low 200s. It's now at 210, looking like it's going to go to 213, 214 today. And Twilio reports next week. So this is kind of a sleeper to keep an eye on next week. If you take a look at Twilio for the 1 year, you can see it's had quite a nice little pop since the end of October, November timeframe. It reports next week, and if earnings are good, similar to um, some of the other kind of lesser known or lesser talked about stocks, has an opportunity to pop here. This looks like it could be an unprofitable one based on the fact that there are no price to earnings. But if it's growing and it can achieve and continue to achieve the growth trajectory, I don't really get into and follow the financials of Twilio, so I can't speak to that. I'm going to kind of drill into that over the weekend. But there could be some opportunity there. So I'm not making a suggestion to do anything, obviously, without doing your own research, but that's where we are today. I'm surprised Apollo isn't getting hit harder today. There's talk in the White House that Trump is going to attempt again, because he did this in his first term, to change the tax rules around the carry interest for primarily for private equity and yeah, primarily for private equity firms. And because Apollo falls into that, as does CCR and Blackstone, I thought they all kind of would have had a bit of a pullback today on that news. Maybe it's the fact that This has been tried multiple times by multiple presidents, and no one's been able to successfully push the change through. And so they're confident that it's not going to go through this time. Affirm Holdings. So here we have Affirm up 12%. They released earnings, and obviously they were good. So that stock popped and is up 12.5%. And the rest of the financial stocks for the most part had a great run yesterday, all for the most part in the green. And like, look at Goldman. I didn't think it had any more room to run, and it's up at 658. So I've definitely missed some of the run up in these, but I'm also very, very leery right now around where they're at. Looking at this though, MTB, if it opens down, and it often has pre-market numbers that are out of whack, but if it opens down $8, I think that might be one to jump into. Um, and take a position in. I don't know whether that's going to hold going into the open, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's where we are on Friday. I'm going to take kind of I'm going to make today a bit of a slow day. I'm not anticipating to do a ton of trades today. I think it's going to be a bit of a wash in terms of opportunities out there with just a lack of overall news and no significant earnings today. But that doesn't mean you can't, and I know there's opportunity out there. So good luck in your trades, and if you're liking the videos, please hit the like and subscribe button.